What up, though? It's your boy Willie Styles in the building. Welcome to tonight's show. It is Stylez and ClarkNoved recap.
Yo.
Oh no, my bad. Godzilla
All right, Clark
versus Kong. Say what up to the people, Clark.
What up? This is your boy Clark Nove. Coming right at you with the Godzilla versus Kong recap of this movie.
What is it? The Battle of the Titans.
Oh yeah, that's exactly what it was.
Yeah. Yes. What's up, Sonny? Welcome to the show.
What up,
Hope you enjoy it. Am I getting blurry? Uh-oh. Don't want my camera to act crazy on me. But yeah, so we're gonna do a quick little review, a little spoiler-free review, and then we're gonna jump right into the recap. All the spoilers are gonna come out in that. This movie, just out the gate, it's Attack of the or not Attack of the Titans. It's a Battle of the Titans. It's the kaiju versus kaiju. A battle royal, and right. Definitely I felt like the movie did deliver on the battles. I felt like it definitely,
Yeah, for sure.
Yes, and I felt like it gave us a lot of what they call it, story from both ends, from the humans that are on the Monarch side, which is the Kong side, and then we got some human stories over on the Apex side, which is the Godzilla side. Also, there was some slow parts. I felt like it was a little slow in parts. I definitely felt like it was one of those kind of monster movies where they could have lessened some of the human parts because the humans just weren't really adding a ton to it. But so what did you think of it overall?
Overall, if I gave it an actual rating, I give it a good solid 7 out of 10.
Okay,
straight out the gate. But I totally agree. The humans, like the Millie Bobby Brown character and her father, they serve so much of a really important part to the other Godzilla movie, and then they just on the wayside. You see them here. Sure enough, Millie Bobby Brown character has a lot of more screen time than the father character does, because
right.
She doing her thing in there, but she didn't add nothing to the story. Like a lot of the human stuff that was there could have technically been left out.
Yeah.
I could have watched this movie just with the fight scenes and a couple scenes of them talking about what's going on, and I've been fine.
Yeah. Yeah, indeed. Yeah, definitely. That was my thing too. Is like there was a lot of just them kind of regurgitating the same premises over and over again, and so I felt like it gave us some background a little bit, but then it was never more than that. It was never more than just a little bit of background. Exactly. And so I definitely felt like there was a little bit more that they could have did there. Keela said she gave it a 7 out of 10. I gave it myself when I initially watched it. I gave it a 6.5. Okay. I watched some of the action scenes again, and so I felt like it was a good 6.5, 7 after I really considered the action scenes and I really considered the storyline compared to the previous movies. Because at first I was just watching it from the viewpoint of just this movie, right?
Right.
I definitely felt like it was a little bit better story than the first movie.
Oh, for sure.
But not as good as the first Godzilla movie, and then but not as good as the second Godzilla movie when it came to the story.
Like, well, for me, for the whole thing is that I really feel like they dropped the ball of setting up another movie. At this point, I feel like
we're gonna jump into a lot of that in the recap. But I agree, they definitely had some great opportunity. I felt like they had one part where they did okay to kind of like set up a movie, and I'll mention that later. But I just felt like you said, like there was so many opportunities they could.
Like my thing is, in the King of the Monster movie, it was like what, at least 10 monsters that bowed down to Godzilla.
Mm-hmm.
Not one of these monsters show up, but yet we got new monsters showing up. But why they didn't explain nothing else or anything came up about some other monster or something?
Yeah.
I think they just dropped the ball with that, and that kind of disappointed me. And just the damn dialogue.
Yeah. Well, I kind of felt like maybe, because I kept thinking about it a lot, and I was like, well, maybe they just wanted to really focus on this Godzilla versus Kong,
right,
and what was happening, because basically, there's this history for them. So, I was like, well, maybe that's what they're doing. Maybe they really want to focus on that. So I felt like it was one of those things where, maybe that was their focus, and they didn't really want to take away from that. But you know what? Let's get into the recap. Let's discuss how this movie really kind of affected us, and what we really thought of it, and then we can definitely get into some points, because there's a couple points where I was like, okay, this can set up a new movie. This can set up a storyline for the future. But we'll see.
Okay, first, before we do that, who was you going for going into the movie?
Going into the movie, I automatically was going for Godzilla. My man Godzilla is a beast and a half.
For sure.
He's got the nuclear fire breath. He's got the moves where he can go underwater. He can fight on land.
Right.
He can do all.
That's exactly why I was going for Kong. I'm like, I like the underdog.
Okay.
Going for Kong. I knew it wasn't gonna work out for him. but I was like, I gotta go for Kong. Let's just ride for Kong, because Godzilla is literally at least 2 times bigger than him.
Yeah,
like, literally.
Well, that was the one thing that tripped me out, was they didn't make that size differential realistic at all. Like Kong is big, but Kong is not that big. Kong is like half the size of the buildings that he was towering over. So I was like, what are they doing?
Well, see, like we was talking right before, you got to watch Kong Island.
Oh,
because in Kong Island, he's basically a teenager. Oh. So they shows his size in Kong Island as a teenager, and then in these last 20 to 30 years or whatever it been, he done grew substantially, like a lot.
Oh, gotcha.
But with that being said, Godzilla also grew too.
Yeah, right. Yeah, well, true that. Especially when we were watching in part 2 of Godzilla and King of the Monsters, Godzilla was towering over the city with Ghidorah, and you could tell his size. He got massive, and even when he got repowered up, I swear he got bigger.
I think he got bigger too when he became like nuclear Godzilla or whatever.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, let's get to the spoiler. Let's get to the spoiler recap. If you have not watched this movie, go watch the movie.
Go watch it now.
Right. Go watch it
right
now. And come right back.
Watch it now. Like that commercial they have on when you watching like TV. Watch it now.
Watch it now. So go watch it, and then you can come back and watch this on the replay. This will be back here on YouTube. Make sure you click like, subscribe, and save, and all the other stuff. And on Twitch and on Facebook, so you can always come back and watch. But we are about to spoil the hell out of this movie. So
before we get right into it.
So
first thing first.
Yes.
Did you notice the tournament brackets in the credits?
The timing? No, I didn't.
The tournament bracket. So
the tournament bracket. Yes, I noticed that. I'm sorry. Yes.
First, that's one thing. They got a tournament bracket. So when I seen this, I'm like, okay, Godzilla going to win.
Right.
Because first of all, he got experience. You just see Godzilla defeated. He defeated like 5 monsters. Yeah. Then he goes to Kong. He only killed like 2 things. Like what?
Right.
Like what?
Which is another reason why I think I didn't really go and watch Kong Skull Island, because I'm like, what is this really going to be about? Is he going to climb a building? Is he going to save some white lady? I don't know. I wasn't really feeling.
It was exactly that. It was exactly that. It was, but the way they set it up, it was great.
Okay.
And they showed a lot of more monsters that's in the Monsterverse in that movie. Yeah,
really?
it was like this creepy ass spider thing. That's
was it the skull crawlers or whatever?
Yeah, the skull crawlers popped up. But no, it was actually like a daddy long leg spider.
Oh,
yeah,
really?
It was crazy. But Kong didn't fight that. The
of course not.
Other people fought, like humans fought that.
Right.
It was an octopus Kong ate for breakfast. It was hilarious.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, no, you gotta watch it. But
okay, I'm gonna have to go back and watch that. So
it's a good movie. And
so this movie takes place 5 years? I think it's supposed to be 5 years after King of the Monsters. We just saw Godzilla defeat King Ghidorah and become Super Godzilla with his super nuclear body and all that good stuff. Kong is 20 years out of Skull Island, or where he thinks he's in Skull Island, right?
Okay, so look with that. So in the storyline of Kong versus Godzilla, they says the indigenous people from Kong Island has been washed away, literally. Like it was like a big ass flood or whatever. Mm-hmm. And the only person that survived is the little girl that can speak sign language.
Right.
Okay, fine. But my problem is when we start the movie, Kong is in a big ass dome with these people.
Right.
How the fuck they get Kong in there?
Right. That's what I was trying to figure out too. I'm like, well, what got me was like, not only is this big ass dome like fairly evident to Kong, because he first 5 minutes of the movie he done threw a spear through the ceiling, but he's also like not really trying to escape. I don't understand. Yeah, like you don't want to be here, but you don't care at the same time. Like, how long you been there?
Yeah, right. And then like right when he does that, and they like the dome not gonna hold up any longer. Now you see how big the dome is. Was he making damage to it on the other side or something like?
Right.
And second of all, so the little girl obviously talking to Kong, right?
Right.
What's the point of the dome if she can help control him? What is she keeping him from?
Well, so don't forget, this is before they figured out that she's really communicating with him for real, right? So I think they don't really understand that relationship yet. They're and I mean me myself.
That part too.
And me myself, I was confused coming in the gate because I'm already like who is this little girl? Who are these people? I knew who Monarch was. I knew who the Monarch people were, but I didn't understand how did they get him into the dome? Yeah.
And more about it. What was the point of it?
Right.
Like, and then they talk about, if we let Kong go, Godzilla gonna come for him. No, he's not. He hasn't came. Like, what are you talking about? He has been on Skull Island this whole time. Godzilla been on the other side of the world, minding his own business. What are y'all talking about? Y'all making up problems.
Right. Yeah, that I didn't get either, because I was like, okay, I do remember in King of the Monsters how Godzilla was basically like feeling these bigger monsters, these bigger titans, and wanting to go after them. But he really was only going after the ones he felt threatened by.
Exactly.
He's not going to feel threatened by King Kong. There was no threat there.
There wasn't no point of this.
No.
Even happen.
No, not at all. Not at all. Like you said, they were definitely making up stuff, definitely adding to the problem. So then we switch over to the conspiracy theory guy, the podcast guy. Shout out.
I actually loved him.
Shout out to the podcasters of the world.
I love that guy in this whole movie. It was. I love his whole character, even though they made this character out to be the super conspiracy theorist,
right?
Like to the highest level. Like he just gonna say a whole bunch of random shit, and something gonna eventually be true. You know?
Exactly.
Like, I didn't like that fact of it, because like he was hitting on a lot of different things and he did know a lot of information, But as soon as he said something super smart, it was some really crazy shit right after the fact. Like,
right, yeah.
What did you just say? That didn't make no sense. But you was right about this last thing, so we gonna go with you, I guess.
Right, yeah. I mean, we didn't have a lot of choices, right? They didn't give us options when it came to our Titan conspiracy theories, right?
Yeah, right. You know, right. But I did love his beginning scene, the whole thing of he's sneaking up on his coworker,
right? Yeah,
and talking about the apple and everything. And then as soon as he bugged the hell out of him, made him go to the bathroom, and as soon as he sit down at the computer, he start eating the apple.
Right.
Great. It was like little things about that dialogue was good, and I liked it. And
yeah, I definitely was feeling his character. I was definitely feeling his abilities, right? Because he was smart, but he also was useful. That's one thing I liked about him. He was very useful, and I didn't feel, because the one thing I didn't like about Millie Bobby Brown's character, was it Madison? One thing I didn't like about her was she was doing a whole lot of stuff that was outside of her realm in King of the Monsters.
Yeah.
So for them to have somebody who's, one, an engineer, two, he's actually in Apex, and he has, the podcast and all that stuff. So he's doing all this extra research. So it's like you can more believe some of the things that he's going to be capable of doing, that he's going to actually be able to figure out, or he's going to be actually able to accomplish. I mean, going back into the building and all the stuff that they did, all that made sense because he worked. Right, he didn't know anything about the sub levels, but he knows enough, right? And you work at a place like this, you're going to know just enough to get you by.
Right, you're going to find out something, and I like him using his brain, not to die. Because as we leading up to all these points of when he steals his information that he need to get out of the computer about the sub levels and all this, is when Godzilla is pissed off because Apex is using their super tech or whatnot, and they angering him. And as all the people running out, he see other people with guns going the other way, and people in lab coats, and he like, that's the way I need.
That's the way.
Because in reality, everybody that went the other way, they probably died.
Right, exactly. Yeah, true that.
And that's one thing that Chevy really put a light on for me. And as we talk about it more, the nonchalantness of the death of people in this movie.
Yeah.
It's a lot of death. It's like a million Sokovia dropping on everywhere.
Right.
It's just big ass mountains.
Because I mean, this when we first see Godzilla show up, and he decides to destroy this Apex base in Pensacola. I think it was Pensacola, Florida. And so he's basically coming in, destroying. I mean, not really just Apex; it's the whole city, right?
He fucking mad. Like he was destroying shit without like when he first comes in, he jumps up purposely to destroy the bridge.
Yeah,
you could have waited, bro. You could have swum under the bridge.
Godzilla don't have time to be waiting. Fuck that.
I gotta get out this water. I gotta get this breath going right quick.
Right.
Straight up, I'm like, well, damn. That's a lot of people dead.
Literally didn't care, and that's another thing I was telling to somebody when I was describing what was going on. I'm like, Godzilla is not even though he was like the champion for the people at one point in this history, in this lore, he doesn't care about people. People are not his main concern.
Exactly.
They're basically pets and insects to him. He doesn't really
exactly.
What a person is.
He like a spawn. He like Spawn or Kratos or something. He really don't care about people. So you don't gotta expect him. He just know I'm on this planet and I'm the top dog, and y'all doing some shit over here is pissing me off, and y'all gotta stop.
Yeah, and it makes a lot more sense later on in the movie of why he really targeted these bases. But I think that even in this initial scene when he comes in and starts destroying the base, it's painfully obvious that he knows something's going on at these bases. and that he knows that he needs to destroy whatever is there as quick as possible. And that's why he has no regard for anybody's, safety or health. He's just like, forget that. This got to go. This whole thing's got to go. So he does his thing. He destroys everything. We get to see whatever that device was at the time. We didn't know. We didn't really know. We find out later it's part of Mechagodzilla.
Yeah, right. It's part of Mechagodzilla.
Yeah, but it was Bernie's like confused, like, what the heck is this? What's going on? Even though, he ends up leaving, and I thought it was weird that he didn't at least like take pictures or something, because I don't think he took pictures or nothing. He didn't really. So
that's another thing that pissed me off too. And when he did take pictures, he was taking pictures with a fucking flip phone Nextel with no camera on it.
With no camera on it. What? I was like, what is he flicking? Like, what's going on?
Like, it's like little things like that you catch in the movie that kind of pisses you off. Because we are in 2021, and I don't think Godzilla is set in this year. I think it's a little bit further in the future. But even if it was 2007, it was camera phones then.
There was camera phones, real camera phones.
Yeah, like, dude, they could have gave him another phone.
Right, exactly. So then we get to see Millie Bobby Brown and her friend hook up and get ready to go on this road trip to go find Bernie, and I thought the kid was good comic relief.
Yeah, he was good comic relief. I also and as soon as I seen him, I started laughing because I just immediately thought of Fire Hands from Deadpool.
Oh yes.
I just started laughing as soon as I seen that kid. I was like, oh, this is going to be hilarious about whatever he's talking about.
Right, exactly. And then I think we moved on to
I think next was the first round one. It was round one of
after they convinced everybody, like, let's take Kong to the hollow earth. They get the what's his name, Nathan Lynn. They get him. They're like, how do we get to hollow earth? And they're like, we got ships or these heaves that we can shoot into the thing, into the tunnels. And so he's like, all right, I'm gonna go convince Eileen and Gia to take Kong, and we're gonna get him to lead us to this thing. So they're like, all right, let's throw Kong on an aircraft carrier. I'm like, bro, like,
okay,
why did they think it was a good idea? Like my thing is, we know Godzilla uses water as his main travel, right? We already know that this is how this man gets around. Why would you put?
Angry. It irked my soul because that was one thing that pissed me off. 2, he in chains.
And chained him up, right?
How the fuck did y'all get this shit on this monkey, man?
I know who walked up to Kong and was like,
and he sat there to let y'all do this.
Well, they said they sedated him, right? So they shot him with the biggest volume shot ever. So I guess I get that, but my thing is still, who picked this big old
exactly
and chained him up to a boat, to a whole aircraft carrier? Like, I don't
even
understand.
if they did sedate him, right? Kong, in the beginning of the movie, they show their stats, right? Mm-hmm. Kong is 292,000 tons, 100,000 tons. Dead weight of that is right times 10. Who picked that up?
Who picked that? What crane was big enough to pick that up?
Exactly. Like, and he dead. Come on, man. And then they chained him up, sedated him. Oh my God. And then they get into the conversation of they need to figure out how we doing this and how we doing that. And oh shit, here comes Godzilla.
Yes.
Right? So as Godzilla coming, they telling them, release King Kong. He cannot fight. They looking like, no, we can't let him escape.
Right.
Where the fuck is he gonna go? He in the middle of the ocean. I assume he can swim a little bit, but
right.
I think he'd get tired
Just a little bit.
Like, you know what
Not
I'm
even
saying?
a lot.
He's not he's not about to jump in a bunch of water.
Right.
Like, what is y'all talking about? So that's another part of the dialogue that I just couldn't get with. And as this goes on, yeah, oh my God, it's so and they do all this stuff. They try to deter Godzilla at this point, and he flips the boat over.
Right.
And now I'm looking at the whole thing. I'm like, well, maybe they not releasing King Kong because it's really hard for them to release him.
Right. Yeah, because like, who's going to go out there and get these chains off of him? That's what I was trying to figure out too.
That was my thing. I'm like, okay, so it might be a hard thing, but no, it was just a goddamn lever, man.
No, one lever, one button. Like, bro, like, what's really going on? Like, y'all, this was stupid to even let him get attacked like this. Like, like you already know he's chained to the boat. What if Godzilla knocks him off the boat, which is what happened?
What happened?
Now he flips the whole boat because he's chained to it. Like idiots. What do you think?
Not all y'all about to die because y'all stupid.
Right.
And then at the same time, I think King Kong then put up a better fight because they still kept him half sedated on that boat too. Because if you look on the neck collar,
right,
it's actually green big ass canisters on the neck collar too.
Oh, so, right, yes.
While he in the neck collar, he actually like drugged up as well. So I think he would have had a better fight if they would have just let him walk his ass on the damn boat.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
There's so many problems with certain things that happen in the movie that didn't need to happen because of us humans.
Right. Humans being humans, right?
But I do enjoy they show both of these monsters' intelligence throughout the whole thing, through each fight. Like people like, oh yeah, I want King Kong to win. I'm like, I want him to win too, but he not.
Yeah, no. Well, my thing is in his first fight, he's already at a severe disadvantage. They're literally on the water. He can't survive underwater for longer than a regular human can.
Right.
And then you're talking about Godzilla, who basically can fight. He lives underwater. He can fight underwater. He has no issues. I felt like that, they were already putting him at a disadvantage. So it's like, what did you expect? You want him to die. You want him to get killed.
Exactly. Like, I just didn't understand that. But I do like after this whole fight, and let's ding Chevy again. A lot of people died.
Yes, because he's like jumping on the boat, he's jumping on planes.
Not only
Godzilla done cut straight through one of the aircraft carriers.
Right. So not only Godzilla was killing people, King Kong killed a bunch of people. He literally picked up a plane with a person in it and threw it. He threw it, but
use it as a weapon.
Like it was people died a lot in this movie. I wanted to know. That's the real secret. What's the body count in this?
What's the body count? what's the score?
Man, oh my God, Jesus, there's so many people. But yeah, it was an interesting fight all the way up and all the way to the whole climactic part of making Godzilla think he won.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, he did win.
Yeah, he definitely won. He beat Godzilla ass. He beat those carriers. He beat the planes. Like they were shooting rockets at him. He was like, whatever.
I don't care, whatever. But the best thing about it is that when the humans realized what was going on, and how to stop Godzilla from attacking King Kong, it was so interesting to see King Kong later, like, please let these motherfuckers turn this damn ship off.
Exactly. He was done, like completely done.
That's one of the reasons I gave it a pretty high score, is because of the monsters. The personality of both of the monsters that came through. Oh my God. Especially with King Kong. Godzilla, not as much.
Right.
He still has some good moments too.
Yeah,
So,
indeed. So
oh
yeah, so then we jump over to the Apex base where Madison, Josh, and Bernie are hanging out. You know, they're trying to figure out what's going on. They end up finding the monorail,
yeah,
which blew me away because I was like not expecting that. You
yeah. I
know,
didn't. That was great. That was great.
yeah. Yeah, so they end up in Hong Kong all of a sudden, which also made it kind of stupid because I'm like, wait a minute, like you know, transported these kids all the way to Hong Kong. Like, who's coming to pick them up later?
Exactly. I mean, later on we see what their route will be, but you know, yeah, like I did enjoy Apex being up to Apex shit. You
Right.
know, like oh yeah, we didn't got skull crawlers. We know what skull crawlers is from Kong Island. We're gonna take these skull crawlers and start breeding them and
Right.
creating them
Right.
again. I'm like, that is interesting.
Yes.
But I think they dropped the ball on that because I did want to see a big ass skull crawler running around. I
So
wanted to see
so that
Godzilla actually fight one.
well, see that's one of the things I think kind of sets up the next movie. I
Yeah,
feel like they're between and I don't know if you caught well you probably did because you've seen it a few times is that the Simmons guy mentions that it was like release number 10. So I think that
yeah,
there's multiple Titans that they've been cloning or breeding or whatever they're doing over there. And so it kind of sets up things because they can now be like, oh, we breeded this and
yeah.
we
Right.
that
Sounds
and
like
we
it's gonna be a Jurassic Park issue.
exactly. It's basically, you know, they basically was like, we got Jurassic Park Part 4. You know,
Yeah,
it's like,
right, right. That'll be interesting, but
yeah. So I think that kind of gives us a setup for future movies. So I was like, I think that was their way of saying, you know, this is our setup for that.
right.
Not a big reveal, not a big, you know, call out, but I think it was big enough. Like it was like, okay, obviously they have more going on here with these Titans than what we originally understood. So I think that there's going to be some fallout from that, and then some eventual additional monsters that we can get to see. Hopefully, some really big names from the Godzilla movie.
Exactly, exactly. I would be fine if even if they made new monsters, or they actually it's a whole game called Monster Hunter out.
Yes,
They took one or two of them monsters and put them into the monster. That'd be dope.
yeah, that would
You
be
know,
dope.
or something like
Yeah.
that. That'd be cool because I mean they don't have to make new monsters. Just call Capcom.
They have what 8 or 10 more big name monsters that they can put
Yeah,
into this thing. So yeah, I mean there's a lot of kaiju out there. So to choose from some of the older movies and the older stories and stuff. So
right. But
mhm.
yeah, but yeah, they end up in Tokyo. And this is where I really have like some of my biggest gripes. I like to call it teleporting
Yeah,
because it just didn't make no sense. So, you know, they did their little sneaky stuff or whatever, and they end up in a test subject room or whatever. And
right,
this is the first time we see Mecha Godzilla, right?
right,
So Mecha Godzilla comes alive, and we also seen the King Ghidorah
right.
head, right?
Yes.
And I do like the fact that they did say this is one head. The other two heads are somewhere else.
Hmm.
Somewhere.
Yeah.
They have them. We just don't know where they're at.
Right.
Now, how conspiracy theories man know this? I don't know. Maybe it was another file that he stole some
Could be.
other time.
Yeah.
But that's one thing he says. But so you see the Mech Godzilla kill his newly cloned Skullcrawler, right?
Right.
And my problem is one, why nobody I understand why they didn't notice the people on the ground because Mecha's so big,
It's so huge. Right. Yeah.
right? But why nobody didn't say where's the Skullcrawler running to?
Yeah. Yeah. Because he was literally going after them, and they're
Yeah,
like they didn't care. They're just like whatever.
yeah, just kill it, just kill it. But my
Right.
problem with this is that I really want to know how they got out that room. Did all the doors just unlock again?
Yeah. That I didn't understand either. I see. I only seen the movie I seen it bits and pieces 3 times, but I only saw
Right.
that part like once. And Yeah, that part I didn't understand is how they really got out of that. So yeah, it was one of those situations where they just kind of popped their way out of it somehow,
Yeah,
and they
like
ended up in the hallway, and it was just like really like you got this door open, so anything could have just crawled out of there. Like I don't,
right,
I don't
right.
understand.
Like
That
I
whole
just
thing should have
didn't.
been locked down. Like seriously,
Yeah, right. I didn't understand that. Like I'm like, so
I don't understand how they got in there in the first place. I saw the doorway they ended up walking through to get in there, but I was like, once again, why are there these easy access doors between
right in this super secret Area 51 building, everything just open.
everything just wide open?
Like, I just didn't.
No security, no security clearance needed.
Not at all. And the one time they did need security clearance, I didn't actually like this. He used the damn screwdriver and broke the security pad,
Yeah,
and the door just opened.
and it just
I'm
opened.
like, I'm like, y'all lazy now. Like,
Real
y'all,
lazy. It don't really work like that. Usually it
yeah. I'm
locks.
like,
It usually locks, not opens up. So whatever, man.
yeah.
But yeah, so
Right after that, that's what a damn flip phone camera not having a camera phone thing happened too.
exactly. So we get to meet Serizawa's I think we already seen his son already,
Yeah,
but we see him actually doing the controlling and all that stuff. Kind of reminds me of Pacific Rim and
for
the
sure.
Jaeger program, right? So which is another legendary movie as well.
Yeah, for sure.
So they definitely stole that from themselves. And but yeah, so I thought that was kind of cool how they kind of tried to explain that, and with the neural network and the neural
Yeah, the
link,
door. Yeah,
because Ghidorah was using that anyway to communicate between the three heads.
the other heads.
Right. So I thought that was kind of dope, making use of that. So now we find out that the reason now why Simmons' daughter is going to Hollow Earth is that they want to get this power source,
To
and
power
so we see
man.
them take, they figure out how to get Kong up there on which they should have did to begin with. They flew him there on the net like idiots.
Another
Like
thing,
Godzilla can't fly. Like that's the number one that's the number one way you should have took Kong
should
there.
have did that in the first place.
The very
Another
first
thing,
place.
how y'all get his big ass on that thing?
I forgave him on that one. I'm like, y'all, if y'all got him on an aircraft carrier, getting him onto a giant net was probably super easy.
Yeah, right. Like what the
And he
hell?
still sleep. I'm like, nigga, wake your ass up. You
To
was
tell the truth, I
crazy.
think that would have been easier than the boat. Shit.
Way easier than
And
the
it
boat.
most definitely was faster.
Right.
Why y'all didn't think about this first? Y'all the smartest people on the planet Earth, and y'all didn't think the other monsters swim?
Not even close.
Like just crazy. But yeah, going to the new I guess it was a Monarch base, right?
Yeah, another Monarch base at the Antarctica or the Arctic.
Yeah, I think it was Antarctica.
Know which one is up. But yeah, so they go to the North Pole. They get there. They drop off Kong, convince him it's time to go to Hollow Earth, and they convince the little girl to tell him like, just go that way. Let's make this move.
Right.
And so
that's the part that pissed me off. Now I know they didn't know, but at this point, when they asked her to do this, that's all they needed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and they wasn't using the best weapon they have to the best of abilities. You know what I'm saying? Like, she can communicate with him. And lady, you smart enough to understand that this little girl that has taught Kong, he probably can't speak all the sign language, but he can understand all of it.
Right.
You can actually talk to him.
Exactly.
Why wasn't you talking to him? Even though he might not listen to you, and he might look at the girl for more confirmation.
More assurance, right? Yeah.
Right, but you could have been talking to the little girl and just have to talk to him. You know sign language because you talked to her.
Exactly.
Like, what is you doing? Like, you went the rest of the movie not using sign language?
Right. Yeah, it didn't
make no sense.
At all. At all.
Oh my God. But that's another amazing moment of not character development, let's say monster development.
Right.
Because when they dropped Kong off in that snow, he was pissed.
Yes.
He was like, come on.
He's like, wait, this is this is not right. It's cold up here.
Like,
He halfway covered in snow. He looking around like, what am I supposed to do now? And so
I felt bad for him, man.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, he definitely. They was putting Kong through it. Kong didn't deserve all this. He didn't deserve all this.
You know, but I did like the fact when you know, the reinsurance after they I didn't like it at the moment that they was using the little girl to tell him to go down there because he might have family down there. I'm like, this about to be bad.
Yeah, you can't be lying to a 200-ton gorilla. Like, you just can't be lying to him like that. Like, what's gonna happen when he get down there and find out they ain't there?
Ain't nothing there.
Now he about to kill y'all.
Oh my God. I was like, don't go down. I'm like, just run the other way. I'm like, you're big enough, you'll survive eventually. Like, I mean, they was feeding you fish and shit, but just live on your own.
Right.
You'll eventually make it back to the island.
This is your opportunity to leave.
Man, right. I'm like, just go the other way. But you know, as the movie, as you know, in the movie, they, you know, he went down there, and I actually like to see this, him swinging around and everything. That was right. Because I that was kind of get to see that.
Yeah, that was kind of cool. I like the what they call the graphics that they use, the special effects that they use,
the CGI.
And yeah, so that was really dope. You know, when they went down into there, and I felt like the science behind it, although it was crazy and you know, of course, doesn't exist, but they really did a great job explaining it. And then the I forgot what they call the heaves that they were using. They were, you know, that they shot in there.
Yeah, right.
You know, so being able to track and follow him through the tunnel, and then eventually through to the portal, and they get to Hollow Earth, and that place was dope. Like, that whole scene was dope.
So dope.
The cinematography was dope. I love that whole situation they had going on. Them floating in the air and all the back and forth. And then the eventual battles with the little, you know, Titans that were down there.
Oh, yeah, that was dope too. And we got to see some other little tiny Titans, but that was a dope ass a little fight scene that you know, more reinsurance of Godzilla gonna whoop Kong ass because he don't have fighting experience.
Right, exactly.
As soon as he started fighting these things, one of them automatically almost suffocate the shit out of him. They're like, we gonna suffocate you. Everybody know how to suffocate Godzilla.
Exactly.
We tried to drag him to the bottom of the ocean. This other thing used his wing as a damn mast to suffocate him.
Right.
Like, he automatic. I'm like, what are you gonna do when he fight Godzilla for real? Like, you know. So, and that was just a dope ass fight. They, you know, obviously, you know, that gave him a little bit more trust in the humans because they saved his ass. And I like how he folded that thing up like a taco.
Yeah. Yeah, my thing was, why was the first thing he thought of was, you know what, I'm gonna eat this thing.
Yeah, like, let's rip his head off and eat it.
Yeah.
I think they showed King Kong like Predator or something, because he just kept doing it. Like,
right. That was crazy. That was crazy.
All about?
Yeah.
Like, now this is one of the parts when they actually goes deeper into the Hollow Earth, and they actually finds, you know, a resting place where Kong people used to stay at, right?
Right.
I wish they would have went deeper into it. This is the only part. It's for both of them, Godzilla and Kong.
Mm-hmm.
Now, obviously, Kong came from here, but Godzilla don't necessarily look like he came from there, but it looked like something that Kong people looked up to. Like, they know this is like the apex thing. Exactly. Because they literally using his scales as weapons, you know?
Right, which was crazy to me, because at first when I saw that in the trailer, I was like, how did he rip that off of Godzilla's back?
Exactly.
But then come to find out, this has been down there for whatever number of thousands of years. And so the only thing I didn't like about that scene is that they, they get down there and as he's floating through, he finds the statue, right,
Right.
pointing towards where to go. And I'm like, who carved that for one? Then we get to the ancestral throne room,
Yeah.
and it's like a code to get in. So this
Yeah,
nigga knows the code. So he walks in. I'm like, you're an ape. Like, who built this?
Yeah,
Like,
and one thing, Kong has codes. Apparently, humans don't.
right,
They got
exactly.
in their doors easy as hell too. Shit.
he had to punch in a cheat code to get into the ancestral
Yeah,
throne.
right.
They just breaking into stuff.
Right.
No issues. Top
That's
secret layers.
insane.
So he gets in there, and at first when I saw it, I thought it was just a cave. I'm like, okay, maybe
Yeah,
it's
me too.
a cave. No, it's a whole throne room. There's a whole throne. There's like columns built in there. It's energy running through them. He puts the axe on the ground and it lights up. It's a sculpture of Godzilla on the ground.
Right.
I'm like, bro, who built this? Like,
hey, Kong people knew how to party, man.
They knew how to party. Yeah, definitely that. They had all the neon lights going.
Oh man, it was.
It was a huge. That was a dance floor, wasn't it? That was really a dance floor.
But and that was a whole nother thing. Is like that just. I feel like they should have gave us more information about that.
Yeah,
I feel like they lost. I feel like this could have been, instead of one movie, they could have kind of spread it out and made at least two, because they could have actually they dropped the ball of telling us what actually happened in the rest of Kong people,
right?
And where the hell is Godzilla from? Because Godzilla is not from there.
He's obviously not from Hollow Earth. No,
right? He's not from Hollow Earth.
So,
and whatever happened, Kong and his people left Hollow Earth and went to Skull Island.
Right.
Whatever the fuck happened.
Something happened. Something went wrong, or something went right. Who knows? And they got ended up, because Skull Island's basically Hollow Earth, but on top of the Earth, right?
Exactly. And that's where, and apparently that's where in Skull Island, that's where they tell you the biggest skull crawler killed Kong's parents.
Oh, okay, got you.
Yeah, so they left from Hollow Earth. I don't know, maybe it was like I don't want to stay down south type thing. I'm getting tired of
right, let's move up north, right?
Like it might have been something like that. They wanted a different scenery.
Right.
My cousins told me to come out here. It's a better ride.
He went to go live with Uncle Phil.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So, but at the same time, it was still Kong family members down there, and maybe they still there, because Hollow Earth, I assume is big, because when you first walk into the throne room, the axe that he picks up was in the Skullcrawler's head.
Right. Yeah.
So who used the damn axe?
Who used that? Who used that last? Right.
Right.
Who didn't pick up after themselves?
Stuff they could have explained there.
So this is my problem. They went through and he lit up the dance floor. They got all the energy started going. So my first problem with the scene was the Apex daughter, Maya. She says, okay, we're gonna get this energy. So I'm thinking they're gonna take the actual energy source out of the ground. They get a sample. They get a sample of it and send the analysis back. I'm like, what does that even mean? Like, how does that equate to anything? That doesn't even make sense to me.
First of all, how do you all got enough power or type of energy to recreate that?
Exactly.
Wait, what? Now I'm thinking that thing was about to turn into a little plane and fly off.
Right, and take the stuff with it. No.
They just took a scan of it and recreate. Like, y'all got enough power to do that?
And wait, and not only recreate it perfectly, but they recreate it on the spot within seconds.
Yeah, like as soon as it was done. Like, what?
Like, we got it. We got exactly the formula. Let's go. Like, bro, exactly. hold on, slow down. You need materials first, I would think.
Right. Like,
made no
what
sense.
The hell? And her whole motive was crazy. Like, okay, it's one thing to take the sample, right?
Right.
But it's a whole nother thing to get aggressive with everybody. What was
She
the
got
point of
real
that
aggressive
aggression?
real quick. Yes.
Yeah, well, they pulled a gun out on the little girl. What was the point of this? And as soon as that shit happened, I'm like, Kong ain't gonna like that. He ain't
Right.
gonna like
Kong
that.
was not
He
standing for that.
ain't gonna like that. He ain't gonna like that. He see
Like,
that gun on
like,
that little
and why
girl.
did
He
they
ain't
even
gonna like
think
that.
that was a good idea to do that? Like, come on, like you're in
Yeah,
the ground, you're underground with a whole Titan, and you're just gonna start going crazy? Like, no, bro, it's not gonna
right.
work.
And did you not just see him kill like 2 big ass monsters? You don't know what the hell's down there. Like it could be
Exactly.
more of them. And
Exactly.
you just like, oh yeah, I'm gonna turn on the biggest thing that I came with. I'm gonna betray the biggest thing that I came with, and just for and the reason for it was nothing. Ain't nobody was trying to stop her.
Nope, not at all.
Nobody was trying to use force on her or nothing. What was the point of that?
It didn't make sense. Once again, didn't make sense. This
Like,
scene that didn't make sense to me was this right here. I'm like, y'all done took that long ass route to get there. Y'all done searched all over Hollow Earth for the ancestral tomb. Y'all activate the thing, and then this motherfucker right here just does this to get
this was it
straight
was
to the
ridiculous.
ancestral throne. He knew exactly where it was at,
Knew exactly where it was at.
and that's
Like
all he did. That's
it was
literally all
dope.
he did.
It was so dope.
It
It
was
was
dope.
dope as hell to see this.
I loved the fact that he did that. I'm just mad that he pinpointed it to the mark,
Yeah.
and that's all he had to do. He's like y'all took the long way. I can tell
Right.
you exactly how to get there.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, it's so much information that they dropped in that room. Because not saying, like we said, Godzilla is most definitely not from there.
Right.
But he has an understanding of that space. You know, that's as soon as he did that, I'm like, he knows something about this.
Mm-hmm,
You know, he
exactly.
knows something is going on here, and he been to it. So, what is going on, and why is this happening like that? Why did Kong leave? Why is Godzilla going around protecting shit?
Right.
Like, it's stuff they could have actually found out down there, and they didn't.
Mm-hmm.
They just went, found the energy source. King Kong got an axe. Godzilla made a shortcut, and he said, "Yeah, it's round two, motherfucker." He looked like, "Oh, you still alive?"
right.
Oh,
You still here? Oh, come on
oh,
up. Come
right.
meet me.
Oh, he
Come
like,
meet me
"Yeah,
where
here
I'm
we
at.
go." He like, "I got an axe now, motherfucker."
Right. My thing is, he gets up there, they start fighting, it goes down. Now he did hold his own for a hot minute there. He held his own. King Kong held his own for a
Oh
hot
my!
minute.
Now this fight is literally my favorite fight because you seen the super intelligence in both monsters.
Right.
Of Kong seeing the atomic breath for the first time in the first fight to
Right.
knowing when it's about to come.
Yeah.
And how every time he shot it out, he figured out another way to divert it from where he was shooting it at. Like one time he just grabbed his mouth and moved. The other time he used the hilt of the axe to stuff down his throat.
Right.
It was so many smart things. And then on Godzilla's side, he was just the beast. You know, he was just the super gangster ass beast using everything that he got. His claws, his teeth, his tail, and
right.
look, oh, that was amazing. That's just dope. Just for them to show that in this movie was great.
Right.
And for them to just continuously to use everything they done learned from the first fight to this one. And I told a lot of people a lot of different things. Like, if this fight was somewhere else,
mm-hmm.
Kong would have had a better chance. Like, if he was fighting on like in the Hollow Earth, we could swing around and everything.
Right.
It would have been a little bit different fight. But like in this moment right here, you see Kong is using his mobility to his advantage, to the biggest advantage. But Godzilla, they like, oh, he just shooting a beam. I'm like, no, he knocking buildings down so he won't jump on them.
So he can't jump on them. Exactly. That was him. That was strategy. It was all strategy.
I'm like, oh my God, the super knowledge of what they showed in this movie. This is why, I mean, sure enough, all the way up until this point, we kind of been shitting on this movie.
but this is when it started being more for us, for the fans, right?
Yeah, right.
And that battle was awesome. Watching Kong actually hold his own in the battle, like you said, he definitely he would have had a better chance had he been in a more jungle environment or a more open environment. But he also took advantage of the buildings until Godzilla started using his strategy of like, you know what, you're not about to be jumping on these buildings.
Exactly.
You're coming off on me. So he starts cutting the buildings down, killing everybody. Forget all these humans.
The people, so many people died. People. Not even just the people that was getting stepped on. Because you're not running from that foot. Neither one of them. You're not running from their feet.
You're not going to make it.
Oh, my God. The people. So many people. Oh, my God. Just Tokyo alone got to be like a couple million people.
Exactly. You got to think, shoot, there's like 11 million people that live there. So, yeah, you got at least think like a third of them dead.
Man, Thanos snap. That's what
exactly.
Like, oh, my God. Like,
So they end up, they go through that battle.
Oh, and that's the fight Kong won.
Kong won that one, and so definitely Godzilla had to figure out how to come back. So he starts to come back. Does his thing. He's slamming Kong. He's throwing Kong.
Oh my God, he had a whole nother thing going on. He's like, I'm just gonna brute strength your ass.
Exactly.
That's it. Because what people fail to realize, sure enough, Godzilla is a lizard, but his arms is not T-Rex like.
Right.
He's got long ass arms.
He's got power.
Like he can really swing them things. So
yeah.
It really turned into.
And he's like a whole boxer. Fight. He was a whole boxer.
Yeah, right. and that's where the fighting experience came in at.
Yeah.
Because he didn't fought King Ghidorah. Mothra helped him fight Rodan. Even though they didn't kill Rodan.
Right.
The MUTs and stuff. He fought all these different types of monsters.
Right.
And over again. And to tell the truth, if he had to fight King Ghidorah again without Mothra,
he might not make
Godzilla probably would have lost.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Mothra really is what helped Godzilla beat Ghidorah. That's true. That's true. He needed that help. And so we saw, like you said, that experience come into play where Godzilla overpowers King Kong. Kong tried his best to try to hold it up.
It wasn't working.
And Tequila's point, I think she said he looked real cheesy and some like he was from some of the old. And that was one thing I thought was funny too. Is like after all these years, after all these movies, he still looks like a CG animated
like in a bodysuit
puppet, exactly like a straight bodysuit puppet.
But there were some things in there. It was just great, like the facial expressions. I don't know if you caught it, like when he was shooting the beam and he finally hit Godzilla in the back. You can see, King Kong in the back. You see Godzilla smile a little bit.
Yes,
like, yeah, I got you. Like,
you saw his mouth open up. He's like, yeah.
Yeah, right. Like, overall, just the personality they gave both of these monsters in these fights was amazing. But yeah, like as you were saying, as in when he came back and the last fight happened, and shit, that was the fight. That was the drop down the cone.
yes. And my thing was like when he stood on Kong's chest, I was cheering, I was screaming like kill his ass. Like I was like, I knew my boy was gonna come back. I knew it. And I was also surprised that he didn't really push it. Like he intended to really put Kong down and have Kong pass out, but he didn't really try to kill Kong.
Right, he didn't really try to kill him.
Yeah. So I think he had a level of respect. He was like,
and I think he got that like that's what I'm saying. It's something else going on with Godzilla because in the first fight, he was trying to kill him.
Yeah, he was gonna drown him.
he tried to drown one. He tried to drown him. That was one death almost happened. And then he was going to atomic blast his face.
Yeah, he was gonna right in the face. Yeah.
So what did Godzilla do from that fight to the next fight to get to the understanding like I don't want to kill you.
Right.
Because
he's like, just tap out. Look, he's like, look, homie, just tap out. Yeah, right. That's basically what he told him. He screamed at him so loud. He was like, look, I can atomic blast you in the face right now.
Yeah, right.
Tap out. Just tap out, all right?
Right.
He tapped on his chest like, tap out, nigga, die. I mean, pass out. Go to sleep. Go to sleep. Go to sleep.
Say uncle. Say uncle.
Kong was like, I could do this. He's like, go to sleep.
Go to sleep. and he tried. Kong tried. He the cut from earlier. He got him in the thigh where he punched it. He like, what you think? I'm a bitch? I'm stronger than that, son.
Exactly.
And that's another thing. Like at the beginning of the movie, they have everybody. They have Kong and Godzilla stats.
Right.
And I actually paused the movie. I looked at them. Just the stats alone, man, is you can't put Kong versus Godzilla.
No.
Guys, like I said earlier, Kong is 295,000 tons, 100,000 tons, right?
Right.
Godzilla is 695.
Yes. There's no comparison.
He
literally could have crushed his chest. Like,
right, he got you beat on weight alone. Like,
right.
And people like, oh no, but I'm like, bro, I'm
like
sorry.
He's got opposable thumbs. Like, I don't care.
Right. That's exactly, and they said that in the thing for Kong, imposable thumb tool construction.
Exactly.
Like against atomic breath.
Right. Not like, against nuclear breath.
I don't think that's like matching up. And people, I mean, it's okay that people ride for their monster and everything.
Right.
But no, Kong, no. He lost that going into it. And first of all, that's not a fight Kong wanted to have in the first place.
No, Kong is not a fighter anyway. You said that earlier. He's not a fighter. He's not.
Right.
He fights to survive. That's
like, I'm hungry. I want to eat this.
Right.
You know,
like, now I'm going to destroy it. Oh, you're attacking my people. Now I'm going to kill you. You know, that kind of thing. Outside of that, he ain't a fighter. He'll love
trying to do that. But then we get to after Godzilla viciously made Kong tap out and basically almost kill him by mistake.
On purpose.
We get another great teleporting scene.
Yes.
Right before Mechagodzilla come out. But before that happened, before we talk about Mechagodzilla, I mean, sure enough, this happens after he comes out. This teleporting scene is just weird. Is dude hopping the heave, fly on top of King Kong, and then it cuts to him running away. How did you get off of him?
How did you get right? Exactly. Yeah, that was crazy. Yeah, that didn't make, once again, didn't make sense. Like, how did you get there? Where were you going?
Right. I think it's just certain things they could. I would have felt like with the teleporting scenes, I would have felt better if they gave it time. Yeah. Like if they would have did, just like when they was in the sacrificial chamber that they was calling it or whatever, when Godzilla killed the clone, I would have been better if when they was walking in the hallway, they put another scene before that. But they doing it back to back. Like, show him revive, do the thing with Kong, him running off, and then do another scene, and then cut back to him like 10 minutes later or something like that.
Right, exactly.
Make
sense.
But you're gonna cut right to him running. Like, how did he get down? He didn't have a ladder. Is it a jetpack he got that we don't know nothing about?
Yeah. I was about to say maybe he had a jetpack. I don't know.
Yeah. But right in this moment, they use this power source. They pretty much
manufactured in 12 seconds.
Yeah, right. In 12 seconds, they use this super duper power source, and the pilot, he automatically like, we shouldn't do this.
Right.
We don't know what this was gonna happen, and obviously the guy that's not in it is do it.
do it now.
Yeah, right. You do it or you're fired.
Right. Like God, you've been paid enough to have power pulsing through your brain.
Exactly. So they use the power source they have recreated, and
of course,
the whole system is compromised at this point.
Right.
The whole system is compromised, and the conscience of King Ghidorah of wanted. Now, this is one thing I want to know: which head was it?
Yeah, true.
Because okay. Now, if it was was it the one in the middle? Because the one in the middle controlled the other two.
Right.
You know, was the one on the end? That's why I was so rambunctious and ready to go. Or would have the middle, been like that too?
Yeah, that's a good question. That's a good question. I didn't think about it.
Like which head was it?
Right.
Because it does make a difference if it's the middle or the two sides. And even with that, like which one was?
Well, I kind of would think it would be the middle because it was more strategic. It understood all of its powers already. It knew how to control everything.
But see, I got a theory about that too. So now it always is conscious. Now the conscious keeps thinking as well. Mm-hmm. So was the conscious learning as he was doing the moves?
As he was being tested. Yeah, true.
So it still could have been either one too.
Yeah. That's true.
Like, that's what I want to know. It's so much stuff. They just dropped the ball.
Right.
Like,
exactly.
Because, like, when you actually sit down and watch the movie a couple times, you start thinking about this stuff. Like, because people ask me, like, that was stupid. Why he know all the moves? I'm like, it's a reasonable explanation. There's two reasons. It could have been what you were saying. Like, it could have been the middle head, and he was thinking more smart and know how to understand what was going on. And then also, when the whole thing exploded, both of the minds and everything he learned as it was going on kept going too. So you could use both theories, and that at least that makes sense of why he was able to just whoop ass.
Yeah, exactly. And he was doing it too. I mean, I was kind of trying to figure out, like, while it was going on, like what is he going to do, or where is he going to fail in order for Godzilla to come back, or for King Kong to do something to get him, because I knew they were going to team up. That was obvious. Yeah. And then, the whole situation was just like, it was dire because
it was nothing like,
no matter what they did, he was outpowering them both.
Yeah, it was like the initial face off between him and guys, and I love the versus setup, like the edge of the screen setup, because at first we were just seeing it with Godzilla and Kong, like it was like set up like you was playing as Kong as player one, and the computer is Godzilla, and then it switched it, and Godzilla became the player one, and Mechagodzilla was the computer.
On extra hard level.
Right. And you see how much bigger the mecha was than Godzilla too.
Yeah.
Because he had a couple more feet on him too.
Yeah,
right?
he was standing over him a few times.
Yeah, it was crazy. But when they initially started fighting, the fight was going, Godzilla like, okay, I can hang. And then he started charging up them punches. He like, nah, pimp, you can't. This is something different. I'm like, you was getting off right there, but he started charging up them punches and using them super knees and all type. I'm like, this is not fair. They are about to die.
When he started using the missiles and everything, I'm like, bro, he already know how to use everything. He flying.
Superman punches.
Superman punching. Like, he had no issues figuring out how to use his new body. And then dragging them.
That was crazy.
The drag moves was crazy.
And that was great too. Even the supercharged beam.
Yes.
Like, it couldn't do anything. You know,
no, not at all.
Ridiculous. And, you know, as the fight went on, you know, and he was actually going to do the fatality on him.
Yes.
I was
like, not the fatality on my man's.
Right. He's going to use his own move against him. That was crazy. But the team up was great because they start understanding each other and what was going on. But that didn't matter.
Right.
Like, it still didn't really matter because he was still whooping their ass. Like, God, man. Yeah. And I was like, why would they create this? I mean, sure enough, but that was great. And that's another thing. See, they dropped so much of the understanding of not what Kong understands about Godzilla, is about what Godzilla understands about Kong.
Right, right.
Because I feel like in this whole monsterverse, Godzilla is older than Kong by a couple years.
Right.
And he knew something about Kong's people.
Yes.
And because you just don't, or he could have learned that from the last fight, like, oh, if I use my atomic breath, it charges this axe up or whatever. Mm-hmm. But it's some type of understanding there that he uses in this fight as well. And I need to know this. And maybe that could be in the next movie or something. I don't know.
Right. But yeah. He knew that Kong would be able to pull this off with that atomic axe with the power up. So yeah, it was
great too. Like right there when you see King Kong, like, this is bullshit. And he goes sit down, he dropped the axe and he sit down on the building like, man, I just want to go home.
Exactly. He's like, I'm done here. This is over. Like,
oh my God. I just want to go home, man. And then, you know, Godzilla runs up on him like, hey, we good?
I know, right?
Yeah, right. He drops the axe, you know, Godzilla get the, you know, walk off, go wherever the fuck he's going. I think Godzilla got a library or a cave or something.
He do. He definitely got a cave somewhere that he be just chilling at. You know what? To be honest, he uses those waterways through Hollow Earth for his travel. So I'm like, he probably has a layer somewhere in Hollow Earth that they just didn't know where it was at. They didn't know anything about. Because like you said, it's probably pretty big. I mean, it's inside of Earth, right? Earth is pretty big. We only use a small little part of it. So you got to think that he's like probably somewhere in some little cave somewhere, just chilling. Got a smorgasbord of tiny little mini titans that he could eat off of.
Yeah, just eat off of all the time. And that's another thing. Like, that's a good thing, a good kind of callback, because this is years after King of Monsters. Like when what was it? No, the first Godzilla, I think. Which one was it when they used the nuclear bomb, and the one man that knows about King Kong, I mean Godzilla the most, killed him?
I think that was King of Monsters.
Okay, yeah.
So, that was the kid who was doing the project the Jaeger project style control, and that was his dad.
Right.
Yeah.
So that little cave right there, it's probably only a set few people that know exactly where that's at.
Yeah.
Which is, one of them was the guy that died.
Yep.
And everybody else that lived out of there, right?
Mm-hmm.
But at this point, this 30 years later or whatever, this is like 30 years later after that happens,
mm-hmm.
and nobody has this information no more.
Right.
So that could be his home that he goes to, you know, in some type of Hollow Earth space. Maybe not Hollow Earth, but
a similar kind of space. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it's just so much stuff that they didn't explain, and I would like them to make another movie, but to tell the truth, I'm good.
yeah. I mean, but bottom line, I think there's opportunities there to follow up on that Clone Titan story.
Yeah.
There's also opportunities for more space kaiju because we know King Ghidorah was from space,
Right.
so we could bring other space kaiju into the mix. There's opportunities, like you said, for them to create new Titans, that kind of thing. So there's a lot of different opportunities. But I think at this point, if the only way I think I would really enjoy a new movie and it would take away from what you were just saying in terms of giving us more backstory and that kind of thing, is if they just really made a real monster movie, just monsters, no humans, no extra stuff, not them sitting there explaining every 12 minutes that Godzilla wants to be the apex predator,
Yeah,
and
right.
he's going to come and kill Kong. Like, I don't need to hear that 18 times throughout the whole movie.
Right.
Like, I'm straight.
And did he
I get it. I got it the first time.
I don't even really think he really cared about that. Like,
right, he didn't. He didn't. Right. He cared. And what I was saying earlier about what was making him go to these apex facilities is he was detecting Ghidorah. All he was thinking was, "Oh my God, I think Ghidorah's back. Oh, let me go to this facility and kill everybody because they're obviously trying to bring Ghidorah back." And then he goes to the next facility. Oh, I still detect Ghidorah. So I think all that was him protecting himself from another situation with Ghidorah. That's the only reason he was attacking these facilities. That's the only reason he was going nuts. He could care less past that. He's like, he knows he's the apex. He already knows he's the number one. So he doesn't really have any threats. There's nothing threatening Godzilla.
The only one that was
Ghidorah. That was the reason why he was so threatened, is that Ghidorah's essence and his presence was being detected. He probably has psychic abilities just like Ghidorah does, and he probably was picking that up.
Yep. And like I would like for them to go into, now that's a great idea of just a whole monster movie. That's a lot more interesting. But I'd rather for them, instead of another movie, I think it would translate a lot better if they do like a series.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't think they're gonna be able to give you what you actually want to know or drive the story for in another movie. Because
it's never enough time. It's never enough time. They had already used up too much human time in this movie, and still, like you said, dropped the ball on a lot of the story where they really wasn't telling us a lot. So
they were teleporting all over the damn place.
Another thing that pissed me off at the end was when Madison's dad shows up, and well, we already seen him show up in Hong Kong, but then all of a sudden he's like, "Where's my daughter? Oh, there she is, nigga." You know how big Hong Kong is? You realize how large this city is. You're not going to see her walking down the street. I'm sorry.
And they just so happen in the same spot after Hong Kong has been literally destroyed.
Right. Exactly.
Like what? Like it's some of them streets you just couldn't use no more. Like,
no, not at all. Not at all.
A lot of just
that's almost as bad as when The Rock got into a helicopter and found his wife sitting on the top of a building.
Like, oh yeah, like what? Like, come on, bro. That's the only building, huh? You just
the only building.
But it was like, that's where it's at. Like, this movie could have been really a 10 out of 10 if they just made it a little bit longer. And if they had the right dialogue set up for it and they wasn't trying to beat the same knowledge into your head of it's two apex predators, it can't be two apex predators, which it could, and it has been for.
Well, no, because the thing is, Kong would never be an apex predator. He was never a threat. Never a threat.
Exactly right. He was never a threat, but in their eyes, he was an apex predator. And if you wanted to say if he was or wasn't, it wasn't no problem for years.
Right.
Y'all making up a problem for him. Now y'all want to go find it. Not to tell the truth, they could have just went on the excursion for amount of years and just kept flying around until they found what they was looking for. Right. I don't know how the hell they were gonna open that door up.
I know, right? They didn't have the cheat code. They didn't have the cheat. They think a screwdriver, maybe a giant screwdriver.
Yeah, a giant screwdriver probably would work. But like I think if they probably stretched it out, maybe if it was like maybe like an under 3 hour movie, it might have, the dialogue probably would have been a little bit better, and it wouldn't been so rushed. And there was so many characters in there, like you didn't really get to resonate with.
Yeah, there was definitely no connection. I mean, I had a little bit of connection with the little girl and her relationship with Kong.
Yeah.
But past that, all the rest of the people were just extras. Way too many extra people. Like, really didn't care. Really didn't care.
Everybody else there was like, what's the point?
Yeah.
Like other than, like you say, other than the little girl and Kong having a relationship or whatever, I could have literally just watched the movie, just the fight scenes, really.
I was really happy they never revisited that whole Godzilla and Millie Bobby Brown thing. Like, bro, like, we do not need Godzilla having a pet. I'm sorry, no.
Right, yeah, no, yeah. Like, I didn't need that as well. Like, no, don't you dare talk to, that's not your friend.
Exactly, it's not your friend. Godzilla, that's not your friend.
Right, that's not your friend. Man, you know who our daddy worked for? That's not your friend.
You're right.
But yeah, like, other than that, it was a 7 out of 10, and I stand on that. And exactly what they gave us is exactly what I was looking for. And if there's somebody out there, now I'm real critical of it, just for the simple fact of we didn't watch so many other movies that sequels and storylines have went a lot better. Like, shit, the Conjuring movies or the Annabelle movies, they damn storyline is way more interesting than, and to tell the truth, you don't even know the Conjuring and Annabelle and shit like that actually link up until you actually see the movies. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, right.
And those stand a little bit better test of time of being connected to each other, versus to the Kong Monsterverse movies,
right.
And just the dialogue in them, being able to explain what's going on and how is things going, so we won't have to sit up here and wonder how this motherfucker get this 290 something ton monkey onto a damn boat.
Right. Exactly.
How did this happen? Like, what are you talking about? But it was good. It was good.
Yeah.
And I'm mad that it wasn't no ending credit scene.
Yeah. What I've heard is that the scene where Kong, is like seeing all the stuff in Hollow Earth, like that was supposed to be the end credit scene. But they needed that as part of context for what was going on in the Hollow Earth part. They also were saying that they believe that there was going to be the use of the the Hollow Earth observation area, that scene that was like right before the credits. They were saying that was going to be part of the end credit as well, kind of setting up like, now we know that they're actually gonna be in what's the name, but it still wasn't like shocking or cliffhanger-ish, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I didn't feel like that would have been a good end credit scene.
No, it wouldn't have. And I understand. I understand they doing Godzilla right, because it's a mystique of him. Like, you can't just go to a end credit scene and show Godzilla swimming around and shit, because you don't know where he at.
Exactly. Well, you know what I thought would have been an awesome end credit scene is if they would have paid off the Mothra egg.
Yes.
That would have been like, if they'd have just showed that egg hatching as an end credit scene, that would have been
great. The Mothra egg, or even
showing us where the other Ghidorah head is, right?
Yeah, one of the other Ghidorah heads.
I don't know. Make it do something. I don't know.
Yeah, right. Like
there's a Mecha Ghidorah somewhere, and the other head is controlling it.
Exactly. Or they could have showed one of the other Titans, because this has been 30 years.
Yeah, right. Exactly. True that too. There could have been other Titans. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. One of them other Titans is gonna be like, yo, what's up? You know what I'm saying? They
right.
also have room. You know, they have grown a lot bigger than as well as Godzilla and King Kong. They all have grown.
Right.
So I would have been okay with seeing one of the other Titans, or maybe like the MUTs, like them teaming up, or like there could have been
Exactly.
two other
Exactly.
Titans trying to team up to go against
Yeah,
Godzilla.
they could have had Destoroyah. They could have showed Destoroyah showing up somewhere. Jagan, Kamongo. They could have
Yup.
showed any of those, and they could have been like,
They could have brought Rodin back.
yeah, oh yeah, that's true because Rodin's really not there, right?
Right. Mothra just stabbed the shit out of him.
Exactly, exactly. So there could have been there's a lot of opportunities that they let pass by in a good end credit scene that they could have just threw together.
Yeah, like and to tell the truth, if they had a good ending credit scene, I would have gave it a 9. I would have gave it a 9 because where I'm at right now is seeing what I've seen after watching the whole movie is I don't see it's going nowhere.
Right.
Where's the narrative gonna be? What is gonna happen?
Right. Right.
Like is it gonna be a remix again of the first Godzilla? Or
yeah, that's true.
The King of the Monsters again? Like there's gonna be a big ass monster threatening the world and Godzilla coming back. And fucking King Kong ain't trying to come up there.
No, he ain't trying to come back to fight nothing. He tired. He's still tired.
If anything happens, I would like it'll be a evil monkey come.
Right.
And
they discover who really used that axe.
Yeah, right. You know what I'm saying? Like evil ass monkey that's the size of Godzilla, and he really about that right, ready to go. Like what's up?
Right. Trained to go and everything. Right.
Something like I would be okay with that, but at this point, I'd be okay with where we at right now. Yeah. A series, I'll be okay if they reboot Godzuki. Okay. If they make a series but make it a little bit more serious and have the miniature Godzilla running around and have Godzilla helping doing shit. Exactly. I'd be okay with that being a series.
Interesting. Yeah, that would be interesting. That would be definitely interesting.
Because right now I just don't see them.
Yeah, I don't see where this could go after this. I think the MonsterVerse at this point needs to go ahead and involve some of the other monsters. We still need a true Dracula. We still need to get the team, maybe a team up of all like the Mummy and Werewolf and all that. Get them all together. I don't know who they would fight or who they would be going against, but get those monsters together for their team up.
That'd be dope.
Yeah.
I don't know, but we haven't had no great actual setups for that yet. I don't even know who would they start with.
I mean, at this point, they have a lot of monsters, classic monsters that they can remake, get some more origin stories out there. I like that they're taking their time. I do like that.
Yeah. They tried to do I Frankenstein. I do remember that.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did the Frankenstein thing. They did, which was part of the what was the movie? Oh man, I'm trying to think of the name of that movie because it was part of one of the other ones.
Not League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Was it that one? It might have been that one.
Not sure.
Yeah, but yeah. So I mean, I think it's about time for them to get all that together, get that figured out.
I'd be okay. I'd be okay with like a cool ass like some type of monster movie like that. But they would have to do a Dracula. That'd be sick.
Yeah, they still need to do a Dracula. Yeah,
the right way. Like a lot of these movies, we done had like a bunch of them, just like all the damn Fantastic Fours we done had.
Right.
Right. Not saying that Marvel can't do it, but the hopes is really low.
Like, yeah.
I mean, X-Men gets it close. All the X-Men movies was great up until a certain point. It's like they get to a certain movie and everything falls apart.
Yeah, indeed.
Like they do 2 good movies, then make a third one, and why did you just do that?
Right. Why did you do that? What was you thinking? What was you thinking? No, baby.
Yeah.
No, what was you thinking?
So I don't like. It's a lot of different things that I'm ready to see and I want to see, but
Right.
I just don't want to happen.
Right. True that.
Because
True that.
I keep wanting to have I want them to start making anime movies.
Oh, okay.
Like live at I mean Netflix has done it, but
Yeah.
I'm talking about like a good like Naruto anime rated R movie.
Oh, got you. Okay. Right. Right.
Because if a lot of people, if you watch Naruto from, I say, if you watch it like just the first season, the kid version, the kid one, right? When he's a little kid. In the first 4 seasons, at least 500 people die.
Oh, wow.
Like
wow.
that Naruto is very serious. It's just a cartoon and it's a kid. But just imagine you being a kid and your whole thing is to become a ninja.
Right. Right.
And the first thing you have to do, you got to go through these exams. And the third one that you get into, well, after you get to the third one, somebody gets attacked and people around you are actually dying. And you fucking 13.
Right. Yeah.
Like people are dying. People are getting assassinated and murdered. And then the next one, the actual first tournament they have is you going against people from other villages that you done went through all this other shit with.
Right.
And the only way you could win is knocking a person unconscious or killing them. And you a 13-year-old fight. You 13 all the way to kids that's 18. I would watch that if that was
right.
I mean, it's really nothing but kind of like the Hunger Games, but with ninjas.
But with ninjas, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Interesting.
And it just get worse.
Yeah.
People just be dying.
Debbie was telling me about Invincible. Have you started watching that yet?
Oh my god, I gotta watch it. I do have to watch it.
Yeah.
Well, a couple people then told me like, "Yo, watch it."
But, yeah. Sean told me to watch it. Chevy just told me to watch it, so I definitely want to check that out. It sounds like it's an awesome show. There's a lot of good stuff that's out there, but like you said, yeah, we need something that's definitely a little more dark, a little more realistic.
I think if they did, because they could do Naruto could be like the next Marvel if they do it right.
Okay, gotcha.
They could do at least 8 movies.
Oh wow!
Because shit, from the first 4 seasons got like 500 episodes, and then after that it goes from 500 to I think it go all the way to like 1,200 episodes. Oh, wow. And it goes through so many different like arcs. Sure enough, some stuff gonna get left out and don't have to be talked about. But it could be done, and it could be done on a rated R scale, or at least close to it, because people gonna have to die. Like
right, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Like it's like as soon as the first mission them kids go on, 2 people get killed.
Oh, wow.
Like, and that's just the 2 main people.
Right.
These people are actually killing bandits and shit and cutting people in half, all types of shit. It's insane. So, but yeah, I gotta watch Invincible. Yeah. A lot of people kept telling me it's like what's that? With the Homelander.
Oh, The Boys.
Yeah, they say it's kind of like that, but animated.
Oh, okay, right.
You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, I think she did make that correlation, and it was kind of similar to The Boys in terms
they said
how serious and how like
right. Said it's kind of rough, you know.
It's rough. Yeah.
You know, it's that and then I gotta watch that. I said I'm gonna wait until this weekend to watch them. I started watching it, but I want to watch the whole thing entirely. And people keep telling me I gotta watch it at night. You know?
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Because they say it's scary to watch them. I watched the first 3 episodes, and it's pretty
Oh,
good.
okay. I haven't started, but I've been hearing about it a lot and how creepy and scary it is. Yeah. I definitely want to check it out. I'm just not sure if it's gonna be up my alley, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, I was telling Chevy like racism is scary enough already. So, they mixing racism and ghosts and other stuff like that all together.
Yeah,
Stuff all
like,
together.
and it don't. And to tell the truth, it puts the racism out front because it's
Mhm.
that time and era.
Right.
But the ghost part, you start. I still don't know if it's ghost or it's a couple theories I got about it. Like, is it ghost or everybody in this family suffering from some type of PSD?
PTSD. Okay, right,
You know
right.
what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
each person in the family has had some type of serious thing happen in their life.
Oh,
From
got
the
you.
little
Okay.
girl to the parents. Both
Right.
of the little girls to the parents. So they could be seeing things. I don't know, but it's interesting.
Right.
It's really interesting.
Well, tell them where they can find you at, Clark.
Well, I'm on Twitch. I try to stream as much as I can, mainly through the week. On Twitch, ClarkNoved on Twitch. On my Instagram, DC the Dude, THE the Dude. And I'm on Twitter too, but I don't really use that much. So
No
yeah,
doubt.
just follow me on the Twitch. I'm playing Control right now, which is a
Oh,
very.
I gotta check you out on Control. I love Control. That's one of my favorite games.
I'm so confused.
Really? Oh man, I love that game, man. I'm in the third level, I think now. I'm playing, of course, the I don't know what you call it. It's like the lowest level for um difficulty. So
Okay.
so I'm kind of just blasting through stuff. I do whatever I want basically. I mean, it's still a challenge, and you still got to figure out all the puzzles, all the new powers. Every time you get a new
Look,
power,
I
you got to
keep
figure out the
doing
weapon
like
system. But it's so much fun. I
yeah,
really love the story.
it's ridiculously fun, and the story as I'm playing it's starting to come more together because I
Hmm.
read everything.
Me too. Me too.
Everything I pick up, I read, and it helps the story out. So the story, I just got to the part that I came across her brother. I finally found her brother,
Oh,
but
damn, you way farther than me then. You way
but my
farther.
problem is I keep getting lost, like because they let you continue going through something
Right.
until you get to a dead end.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah.
So I'm like, I keep getting
How
lost, and I
many
gotta
how many
backtrack.
boards have you gone through then, or
I
levels or
got
whatever?
well, I say I don't know about. I got like 5 of the powers.
Oh, okay,
I
wow.
can
Okay, yeah.
pick shit up.
Okay, so yeah, I'm at the third power, I believe, which is where I can jump and project myself.
Oh, you can. Yeah, I got the dash. I can levitate, which is it's not really levitating.
Oh,
It's more
really?
like flying and then
Really?
gracefully floating down to the ground.
Okay, yeah, I can't do that yet.
Because she could go really high, like she'll float all the way up, and if you hit the X button again, it'll turn off the power, and you just free fall to the ground. She can kill herself. That's
Oh,
how high she
really?
goes up.
Oh my God, that's
Yeah,
crazy.
it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's that. I got all the weapons unlocked. The shotgun, the Pierce gun, and
Oh, wow.
I got the another move. You pick up the ground and use it as a shield, and
Oh,
you
really?
can actually and then when you upgrade that to a certain level, you can push it away from you, and it'll shoot the debris all over the place.
Oh, okay. So it's way more advanced than that because right now I can do the thing where I can grab stuff off the ground or off of the wall and throw
Yeah.
it, but it's just throwing it, and then I can use people as shields and I can throw them, and
Yep.
then I can do the projecting myself where I can do the dash move. Yeah, so I can do that. And then the weapons, I think I'm at the point where my weapon now can do the split bullets and something else weird the weapon can do now. but it's like a step towards something else that the weapon can.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
yeah.
like I just gotta get back into it. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, it's been a while since I've played it because I've been really playing a lot of No Man's Sky.
oh
And
really? How you been liking that?
I love No Man's Sky. I'm a huge space exploration type of person. So the way that they procedurally generate all the planets and the fact that for the most part, I would say there's probably 60% of the animals are basically the same animals,
Right.
but that other 40%, it'd be crazy. It'd be crazy what you encounter. And then what I've started to realize is that certain galaxies have, or not galaxies, certain solar star systems have certain types of mixes of animals and plants. So it's like when you get to one, I know now, like if I find a planet and I look at it and then I see the other planets, the type of planets they are, I
Yeah.
don't know if I really want to explore the planets or not. I'll be like, oh no, I don't really need to explore these.
Right.
It's
Right.
gonna be the same basic stuff I already found. But then like I just recently found this one planet where one of the animals looks like a giant like sponge, but he's got
Yeah.
horns all over his body. And he like
Really.
jumps around. And then there's another animal on the same planet that looks like a potted plant and he
Really.
growls. And so he's running around like acting like he's gonna attack stuff. I'm like, bro, like I need you to slow down because you tripping. Like it's crazy. So it's
Yeah.
like some of the stuff you find, it's awesome. I love the fact that it's so random and it's so like they do an amazing job of because I play it in creative mode. And usually in games that where you create things or craft things, creative mode is so basic that
Yeah.
it's
Right.
really not anything you want to play in. But the way they did this is it's enough challenges because you got to go through all the missions still. You got to go through all the puzzles for most things. You don't have to pay actual money for anything, but you have to pay with these special currencies for certain things. So you still
Okay.
got to go through those missions and those expeditions. So it's a lot I still got to do, even though I'm in creative mode.
Right.
And like I still got to do battles, space battles. There's still a lot of warping around trying to find these mini missions. So
And
it's crazy.
upgrading your ship and all
Upgrade
that.
the ship. Yeah, I still got to upgrade the ship. Now, for the most part, I can upgrade the ship as much as I want, no issues. But I still have to be strategic about what I pick because you're still limited, of course, to how much you can put into a ship
Oh,
and
okay.
what type of items will build on each other, that kind of
Right.
thing. You still got to use that same kind of strategy logic. So it's so you get up to 6 ships, up to 6 pets.
Oh,
Only
they got pets on there now?
they got pets now. Then you collect them like Pokemon, and you
Oh,
can, you
that's
can
hilarious.
create your own as well. You can genome sequence the eggs and
Oh,
create
really?
your own animals. Yeah.
That's interesting.
Oh, it's very interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah,
And
because
like,
I got into it when I I was gonna buy it, but I got into it when it first came out.
oh,
So
okay.
it
Yeah.
was a dead game.
Yeah, very dead. Yeah. And the graphics are
Yeah,
leaps
the
and
graphics
bounds
were
better now.
amazing, but the graphics was amazing then. There
Yeah.
ain't no telling
Oh,
what they'd
which is
get now.
crazy that it was amazing then because it's even more better now. That's the only thing that's really making me want to get an Xbox Series X because it looks even better on the Series X.
Okay, but
Yeah.
yeah, that was one game I didn't really get
Yeah.
into. But yeah, I'm playing Control right now. Not that long ago, the last thing I played was Ghost of Tsushima.
Oh, okay.
That was the last thing I actually played, which was pretty dope, and it was a
Yeah.
lot of fun. Got to run around and be a super ninja, shinobi, samurai.
Yeah.
All of them in pretty much kind of that order. Like
Yeah.
literally,
Right.
the
Yeah.
storyline was great. They killed my fucking horse, and I was pissed. I
Yeah.
literally started crying, man. Like
Oh man,
that was
dang.
the second game that somebody killed my goddamn horse, and I don't like it.
Yeah, the other game I'm playing is the Jedi Fallen Order.
I need to play that.
That's
That's
a fun game too.
like a Dark Soulsy type joint
Yes.
because
Yeah.
it's really difficult.
Yeah,
Like
it's got a
dodging.
lot of challenges in that one. It's open world, but the worlds aren't like I mean they're big. They're way bigger than most what you would think, but they still have a little bit of a little contained in certain areas. So you can get through certain things and actually finish it. Not the whole planet, of course, because it's just way too big. But it's like you kind of get an understanding of how the map is laid out, and you start to figure out things. And then the storyline is, I mean, Star Wars storylines are always really well laid out. They attach to the lore really well. So, in this game, the storyline, it's kind of basic, but it also has some things that you're like, I really want to see how this plays out. That kind of
They show off that new little drone too in that, right?
Yeah. It's like a
walking drone. I really want to.
Yeah, he's not as playable as I would like him to be. He only does a couple of things. You can use them to like zip line. He has a thing where you can shoot out these little pellets that recharge your own power, and then you can customize him and stuff like that. But that's pretty much all he does. He doesn't really do a lot. So he gives you a lot of. Oh, he can also help you break into different buildings and doors and stuff like that. So you have to upgrade him to do that. But it's not a ton that he does. I mean, I'm like, well, maybe he's going to do more later, but I don't see him doing a lot more.
right. He's just there to help you do little miniature things.
Little things.
One more thing I want to ask you before we get out of here. Did you watch the two new trailers, the Fast and Furious and the Fast and Furious and the Hitman's Wife Bodyguard?
Yes, we were talking about that last night. So Fast and Furious 9 trailer dropped. I was shocked by both trailers. I didn't know that Fast 9 was already ready for a trailer. Only thing I didn't like was that they showed the entire movie in the trailer.
You said, huh?
They showed the entire movie in the trailer.
I feel like it did too. Like I mean, my eyes was, you got the Fast and Furious out, eyes this big, holy shit, oh shit.
Exactly.
Everything was holy shit, oh shit, and what the shit? Oh, did he just jump off that? It was all that.
It was awesome. But then now I'm like,
drive too?
Why do I need to watch it now? I don't understand what am I supposed to do now?
I do want to watch it. Well, the reason I want to watch it is two big reasons. Mm-hmm. Is the kid from Tokyo Drift he makes a glimpse in there at the beginning at the picnic. They're rebuilding the old house. Mm-hmm. Who was driving Brian's Skyline in that moment? Mm. And also, how did Han survive?
Right, yeah. But I got the sneaking suspicion, like the other movie with the other girl, they're not going to tell us how Han survived. He's just going to show up, and we're just going to be like, okay.
All right, we believe you.
No, we believe you. Right. He doesn't explain stuff like that very well. And then the
Hitman wife,
the Hitman wife's bodyguard. I forgot how to say it.
It's a crazy title, man.
It's a super crazy title. Hey, DJ Stacy, thanks for dropping me in. So I when I saw the trailer, at first I thought it was the Hitman's Bodyguard original movie, and I was like, are they? Is it coming to like one of the streaming channels or something? I'm like, what are they doing? And then I noticed that Salma was in there a little more, and I'm like, oh, wait a minute, this is a whole different movie. Like, wait a minute.
I'm going to love it.
I am too. I already love it. I'm like, this movie looks hilarious. I love the first movie, and I'm like, I'm going to watch it again, and then I'm going to definitely check out this sequel because this sequel looks awesome. Like,
you just gotta love Ryan Reynolds.
Yes.
And then Samuel L. Jackson next to him.
Right.
The whole dynamic of being a hitman's bodyguard, and the hitman don't want you as a bodyguard because he just constantly doing reckless shit, but you still got to be the hitman's bodyguard.
You still got to be the bodyguard.
That dynamic of it is ridiculous. Like,
exactly. And then to find out his wife is just as crazy.
And then now you got to be the hitman's wife's bodyguard, and at the same time, it seems like it's gonna become a part that he's gonna have to be both of their bodyguards.
Yeah, that's what I think. Yeah.
And at first I was like, oh, it ain't gonna be as crazy, and then the pepper spray scene happened.
Yeah.
And she also pregnant.
Right, and she's pregnant. Right. Man, this movie gonna be awesome.
And he called her, and that was another. He called her an alien.
I
Yeah,
missed that part. Really?
That host, the host
Exactly.
line.
Oh yeah. He did. He's like, yeah. Yeah. Any child would be happy to have you as their host. And she's like, thank you. I'm like, so wrong.
So those are two movies that's about to. I'm gonna go see Fast and Furious just because it's basically like a ritual.
Yeah.
At this point, when you got 9 movies and each
Yeah.
one of them made $1 billion, at this point, if you didn't seen the first one in the theater, you got to see the rest of them in the theater.
Right.
So yeah, I'm gonna go see 9, but I hope they don't have all these characters at that picnic scene.
Right.
And one, I hope that's not the end of the movie, because a lot of movies have been doing that lately.
Mm-hmm.
They show a trailer, and in the trailer they have the last ending scene.
Yep.
At the beginning of the trailer, and that's really the end of the movie. That shit's pissing me off.
I know, right? I'm so tired. This is why I don't watch 2-minute trailers. I just don't do it. I watch teaser trailers only. And they got me with the Fast 9 trailer only because they always put out 2-minute trailers with that.
Yeah, right.
And I was just kind of watching it, and I couldn't stop myself from because, like you said, every scene that they kept showing was like, oh my god, you know. So I got caught off guard with that one. But every 2 or 3 minute trailer, it's the movie, and I'm like, I can't watch those trailers. Like I don't like, even with Marvel, I don't watch any of their long trailers. I don't watch anybody's long trailers if I plan on watching the movie, because I feel like they're showing way too much in the movie. I never.
But see, Marvel does it right. When Marvel does it, it's different because the actual trailer is not the movie.
Right, true that.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it still seems like from Infinity War that's in the trailer that's not in the movie.
Yeah, that the trailer for Infinity, that I did watch trailers for. They never really revealed a lot from that movie. There was quite a bit they showed, but not a lot that they showed. They really didn't, and they didn't give away anything in the Endgame trailers at all.
Like 2 examples for both of them trailers, for Endgame and Infinity War. And in Infinity War, when everybody on the front line running up, in one of them trailers, it's extra characters in that trailer. Like the Hulk is in one, but in the Hulk not in it. The Hulk not
right, the Hulk's not in it, right? Because they never showed, like, they didn't even show that he was in the Hulk poster, or that he never became Hulk. It never showed that, and we never really realized it until watching the movie. Like, wait a minute, and then realizing that he was actually in those scenes.
And I'm like, what the hell? And then when you go to
stripped him out of the scenes, I'm like, wow.
Yeah, and when you go to Endgame, the time jump trailer, the first 3 trailers of them walking in a single file line, Tony Stark wasn't even in the lineup.
Exactly. Exactly, because they didn't want to give away that he was back.
Yeah. So if I think there's a lot of people that can learn something from Marvel, and I just feel like a lot of people just being hard-headed.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to be like Marvel, but I mean, they done made a blueprint.
The best blueprint. The $1 trillion blueprint, because that's what they about to end up making, is $1 trillion.
Man, right. Just follow the damn blueprint and you'll be fine. Don't show all your, if you're gonna show a bunch of shit in the trailer, lie.
Lie big. Leave stuff out, omit stuff, CGI stuff out.
All that, man. But yeah, like, those are 2 movies I'm looking for: The Hitman, Wife, Bodyguard, and The Fast 9. And like I said, I just want all them characters to have something to actually do with the movie. Yeah. You know, don't show me these characters, and then in the rest of the trailer, you only see 4 people.
Right.
Natty, Tyrese, Dom, and Ludacris.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The whole time, and the new girl, the tech girl.
Oh, right.
And you see them in the rest of the trailer and Han. But all the other, you don't even see. You don't know if Hobbs and Shaw gonna show up.
Well, I guess they're not, because they they done pissed off what's his face? They done pissed Vin Diesel off. So
right. Well, but I'm surprised Tyrese in the movie because he pissed him off too.
Oh yeah, that's true too. That's true. But yeah, they definitely are all about keeping their little tight knit family.
But they gonna definitely. But they kind of hinted on that too. Like I think they be putting that into the movie too. Like at the beginning of the movie, like, oh yeah, sometimes y'all fall out and this and that, but family comes first.
Right. They love that family thing.
It's all about the family. The cars and the family.
That whole family theme to me is just so played out.
Man, they mess with my family.
Right.
I'm gonna get the car.
Your shadow all these years. I'm like, bro,
I'm gonna get this car and rob your bank.
Couldn't see you, little brother.
Yeah, right. You mess with my family. But my whole thing is, this about to be weird to me, is so like, do Vin Diesel got an even further backstory?
Right. Yeah.
Because so we obviously know he's super smart, right? His character in the movie Dom is super smart. He's super strategic. He know how to do this. He know how to do that, and he know how to put people together to get the mission accomplished, right?
Right.
So in his fight between The Rock, do he got special training? Because he shouldn't have been able to beat The Rock, right?
Right.
Because that's special training. Right. And why is he so comfortable to go up against his special agent, little brother,
right,
with no problem? Do he have a further back? Like, was he a part of the CIA or Navy?
Hopefully they explain some of this in this new storyline that they done created for him, because there's a lot going on. It's a whole lot.
Like that's one thing I stopped liking about Fast and Furious. Everybody just, after the fourth movie, everybody got superpowers now.
Right, everybody got superpowers. Exactly.
Shit was crazy, man. But yeah, man. But yeah.
All right, we're gonna wrap it up for the night. Almost midnight.
We gotta figure out something else to do, man.
Oh yeah. Make sure y'all get at me at Willie Stylez everywhere. IG, Twitter, TikTok. I'm Willie.Stylez on Snapchat. Get over to stylesradio.com to see all the hot tracks I've been listening to this week. Actually, I haven't been listening to a lot this week, but I'll definitely be catching up tomorrow because of this new Music Friday tomorrow. So I'll be dropping a bunch of tracks on stylesradio.com, or go over to willystylez.info for all my links. Next week, Wednesday, we will be doing another recap and review with Chevy. I'm going to be talking about episode 5 of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. This Saturday, though, before the week ends, Saturday, we're going to have another episode of Sex with Sunny. Make sure y'all check that out. That will be going down on Saturday at 2 p.m. I'll be posting the promos for that, so make sure y'all look out for that. Get at us on Mondays at 10 p.m. Also, check us out on Thursday next week for the Fans Perspective. We will have sports talk and all the highlights and all that kind of stuff going on, sports news. So get back with us for that. Content. GFT Radio Show. We are out.
Hey guys, it's your girlfriend, the 1/3 of the podcast, GFT Radio Show.
What up, though? It's your boy, Willie Stylez from the GFT Radio Show. Just letting you know you can catch us every Monday night, 10 p.m. Eastern.
And to get some merch, I got some on right now. Go to teesprings.com/stores/GFT Radio.
Grown Folk Talk Radio. Join the conversation. Let's have some fun. Holla.